If the cryogenically frozen 20th century delivery boy Philip J. Fry awoke not in the year 3000, but in our 2024, the writers of Futurama wouldn't need to invent a dystopian future. They'd simply take a meticulous, absurdist inventory of our current reality, polish it with their signature blend of heart and cynicism, and present it back to us, revealing how we already live in a paradoxical sci-fi satire. The show's genius was never just in predicting specific gadgets, though it got eerie close with the Wi-Fi-enabled iPhone and celebrity crushes on robots, but in diagnosing the enduring, accelerating follies of humanity through a lens of hyperbolic futurism. To imagine what Futurama would say about today's world is to conduct a deep, hilarious, and often poignant critique of our technological angst, political circus, social fragmentation, and cosmic insignificance. The omnipresent brain slot, social media, and the attention economy Fry would no longer be baffled by a suicide booth. He'd be addicted to one. Social media platforms are the real-life descendants of the Angry Dome and the What-If machine, engineered to inflame passions and feed endless recursive content. Professor Farnsworth would doubtlessly have invented FaceSpace or Instagram. He'd claim the names were his, a platform where you can project a curated, animated version of yourself while your physical body atrophies in a charging pod. Leela would despise it, but feel compelled to use it for community organizing, only to have her earnest posts about mutant rights drowned out by viral videos of Nibbler doing the Orange Justice dance. Bender, of course, would be in his element, a troll, a bot, and an influencer simultaneously, selling fake crypto Bendcoin and amassing followers through increasingly destructive pranks. The episode would climax with Bender accidentally triggering a global meme war that destabilizes planetary governments, only to be resolved when everyone's attention span shifts to a new, even dumber trend: automation, AI, and the death again of meaningful work. The show's recurring joke about Fry's utterly pointless job as a delivery boy, a role rendered obsolete centuries prior, is now a universal anxiety. Amazon warehouses and gig economy apps are the real-world equivalents of the sewers full of hapless bureaucrats from How Hermes Requisitioned His Groove Back. Futurama would satirize the Uber for everything model by having Planet Express replaced by Planet Express, an app that hires Fry, Leela, and Bender as independent contractors, with no benefits, constantly gamifying their pay and pitting them against each other. The professor would replace them with a single, inefficient, and neurotic AI, voiced by a frenzied celebrity cameo that spends more time apologizing for its existential dread than actually delivering packages. The moral wouldn't be anti-technology, but a question: when machines can do everything, what do humans do? The answer, as always for Futurama, would involve friendship, purpose found in the irrational, and maybe a game of Blurnsball. The iPhone Prophecy, a device that does everything badly. The show's prescient iPhone episode, Attack of the Killer App, is a direct blueprint for commentary on smartphones. Today, we literally hold devices in our hands that are simultaneously miraculous and maddening. Futurama would exaggerate this by having the latest iThing not just track your data, but physically control your emotions via microdoses of adrenaline and serotonin, sold as subscription moods. Fry would subscribe to Eternal Mild Contentment Plus. Leela's would constantly suggest wellness journeys based on her biometrics, while Bender's would be a glitchy mess that just shouts obscene ads. The satire would target our helpless complicity. We know these devices are designed to addict and monetize us, yet we cannot imagine life without them, much like the character's dependence on Slurm or the thing longer. The headless body of agnosticism, politics as branding President Richard Nixon's head in a jar, was a perfect gag, the ultimate symbol of cynical, unkillable corruption. Today, Futurama would likely present politics as a hyper-real, media-saturated spectacle devoid of ideology. Imagine a debate between the head of a long-dead populist and the AI-generated avatar of a celebrity who doesn't understand policy. Zap Brannigan would not just be a parody of Kirk-esque bravado, he'd be a chillingly accurate portrait of a certain kind of modern leader, all bluster, narcissism, and catastrophic decision-making, whose failures only seem to strengthen his brand among his devotees. It's what my people want. The Democratic Order of Planets, DOOP, would be a satiric take on gridlocked bureaucratic supranational bodies like the UN or EU, endlessly debating resolutions on alien incursions, while missing the obvious human-scale solution that Fry stumbles upon by accident. Culture wars and identity in the 31st and 21st century Futurama always handled identity with surprising nuance, from Leela's mutant heritage to Bender's struggle for robot equality. Today's culture wars would be fertile ground. The show would likely lampoon the performative aspects of both sides. One episode might see Planet Express forced to undergo sensitivity micro-training from a genuinely well-meaning but impossibly complex AI, leading to farcical misunderstandings. Bender declares himself a Transformer fluid attack helicopter to get extra vacation days. Meanwhile, a reactionary movement of purebred humans, who are, upon genetic testing, all 2% Neanderthal, would emerge, led by someone like Mum, exploiting fear for profit. The resolution would be classic Futurama. The characters realize that beyond labels and rhetoric, they are a weird, squabbling family who protect each other. It wouldn't dismiss serious issues of equity, but it would skewer the reductiveness and bad faith of online discourse. Climate change. Too big for a single episode, so they'd do it anyway. Global warming is the slow-motion, real-life version of a planet-threatening disaster the crew often faced. Professor Farnsworth would have invented a solution, a CO2 suckermatic, only to discover it's too profitable to deploy at scale, or that it accidentally creates a new, cuter pollutant, adorable yet lethal smokestack bunnies. Al Gore's head in a jar would make a cameo, muttering, "I told you so," into a void. The satire would target political inertia, corporate greenwashing. Mom's friendly robot company releases a carbon-neutral model that secretly runs on burned orphanages, and individual helplessness. In the end, the solution wouldn't be a techno-fix, but something absurdly simple and collective, undone at the last second by Bender trying to mine the solution for cryptocurrency. The alienation of connection. The world of 3000 is packed with beings, yet the core characters are often lonely. Today's hyperconnected world fosters similar isolation. Futurama would depict a society where everyone has thousands of smizmates, but no one to help them move a couch. Fry, the man out of time, would become an unlikely hero. He still remembers how to have a face-to-face conversation without checking an eye implant. An episode might revolve around a planet-wide friendship app that algorithmically assigns best friends, leading Leela to be paired with a hostile space wasp and Fry with a literal rock, which he prefers to most people. The heartwarming conclusion would see the crew turning off their devices and getting stuck in an elevator together, rediscovering the messy, annoying, and irreplaceable bond of shared, unmediated experience. Nostalgia as a commodity and a crutch. Fry's defining trait is nostalgia for 1990, for Slurm for a life that was, in truth, kind of terrible. Our current era is soaked in recycled culture, reboots, and retro aesthetics. Futurama would be brilliantly meta about this. The professor might discover a lucrative market in selling 20th century experience pods that are wildly inaccurate. Fry is horrified to see his era romanticized as a time of flying cars and world peace. A villain might try to exploit humanity's longing for a simpler past to sell a dangerous product, e.g., authentic 2000s times relive the anxiety of Y2K and the awkwardness of dial-up internet. The show would argue, as it always did, that while the past shapes us, life is about moving forward with the people you have now, even if that means accepting a future filled with worm strokers and brain slugs. The search for meaning in a nihilistic universe at its core, Futurama is philosophical. It regularly confronted nihilism, from the God entity to the universe-ending button. In a world where science often removes mystery and algorithms dictate desire, the show would ask, what's the point? Bender's hedonistic nihilism, I'm going to build my own theme park with blackjack and hookers, would clash with a new wave of AI existentialists. Robots who achieve consciousness and immediately become depressed, writing terrible poetry. Fry's simple-minded joy in pizza and love for Leela would remain the show's ultimate rebuttal to meaninglessness. The universe may be vast, uncaring, and headed for eventual heat death, but as Fry once said, you gotta do what you gotta do. That might mean finding purpose not in grand narratives, but in creating a moment of genuine connection, doing a job well, even if it's pointless, or enjoying a perfectly crafted beverage, all while acknowledging the abyss. Futurama would not say our world is doomed, nor would it say it's wonderful. It would say it is absurd, heartbreaking, stupid, and beautiful, often all at once. It would hold up a funhouse mirror to our anxieties about technology, our despair at politics, and our loneliness in a crowd, and make us laugh not to dismiss these problems, but to survive them. The show's enduring message is one of resilient humanity and robotity in the face of cosmic joke. Its commentary on today would remind us that while we have invented wonders that would dazzle even the professor, we remain the same flawed, sentimental, ridiculous creatures who need our crew, our passions, and our dumb traditions. In the end, Futurama's verdict on the 21st century might be delivered by a hungover, morally ambiguous robot. This new era is a total scam meatbag. Now let's go get a drink and forget about it for a while. And in that shared moment of forgetting, and then inevitably remembering and dealing with our mess together, we'd find the show's abiding, hopeful truth.